Money. We spend our whole lives chasing it, stressing about it, and trading our precious sleep for it. But here's a weird realization. Most of us have no idea how the machine actually works. We're playing a game where we don't even know the rules. So today, we're going to fix that. We're stripping away the suits, the jargon, and the boring graphs. We're breaking down the 10 things you actually need to understand about the financial world if you don't want to be the one getting played. 1. Taxes. Let's start with the one everyone hates, taxes. People think taxes are a punishment for making money. And sure, it feels that way when you look at your paycheck and realize a chunk of it vanished before you even touched it. But think of taxes as a civilization subscription fee. Imagine you and 100 people move to a deserted island. You need a road so you don't trip over coconuts. You need a guy to put out fires. You need someone to make sure the neighboring island doesn't come over and steal your stuff. How do you pay for that? Everyone chips in a portion of their fish or their wood. That's all a tax is. The problem is, as the island gets bigger, the subscription manager starts spending your fish on things you didn't ask for, like a golden statue of a turtle. Understanding taxes isn't about liking them, it's about knowing how the government uses that money to steer the ship, and how you can legally keep as many of your own fish as possible. 2. Banks. Next up, banks. Most people think a bank is a high-tech vault where your money sits in a little box with your name on it. Hate to break it to you, but your money isn't there. The moment you deposit it, the bank says thanks and immediately turns around and lends 90% of it to someone else. Banks are just professional matchmakers. They find people with extra cash, you, and people who need cash, someone buying a house, and they sit in the middle. They pay you a tiny bit of interest for the privilege of using your money, and then they charge the other person a lot of interest. They keep the difference. It's the world's most profitable game of pass the parcel. The danger is if everyone shows up at the bank at the exact same time wanting their money back, the bank has a heart attack. That's a bank run, and it's why the government has to step in to keep the vault illusion alive. 3. Interest. This brings us to interest. Interest is the cost of time. If I give you $100 today, I can't use that $100 to buy pizza. I'm sacrificing my current happiness. Interest is the reward I get for waiting. But here's the secret. Interest works for you or against you. If you're in debt, interest is a thief that sneaks into your house every night and takes a little bit of your hard-earned cash. If you're an investor, interest is like a tiny employee who works 24/7, even while you sleep, making you more money. The goal of the game is to stop paying interest and start collecting it. Once your interest employees are making more money than you spend, you've officially won the game. 4. Inflation. Now let's talk about the silent killer, inflation. Have you ever heard your grandpa say, "Back in my day, a movie ticket was a nickel"? He's not just being old, he's describing a phenomenon where your money loses its muscle. Imagine money is a balloon. Every year, the government blows a little more air into the balloon. The balloon looks bigger, but there's no more actual stuff inside. Because there's more money floating around, each individual dollar buys less. If you leave $10,000 under your mattress for 30 years, it'll still say $10,000 on the paper, but it might only buy you a sandwich by the time you pull it out. This is why saving isn't enough. If your money isn't growing faster than the balloon is expanding, you're actually getting poorer while standing still. 5. Recessions. If the economy is a heart, a recession is when the heartbeat slows down. For a while, everyone is spending money, businesses are hiring, and life is great. That's the boom. But eventually, people get a bit too excited. They buy things they can't afford with money they don't have. When the bill comes due, everyone stops spending at the same time. The shops close, the jobs disappear, and everyone panics. This is a recession. It sounds scary, and for a lot of people, it is. But in the world of finance, a recession is like a forest fire. It burns away the dead wood and the bad businesses so that new, stronger ones can grow. For the smart player, a recession is a clearance sale. Everything from stocks to houses to businesses goes on a 50% off discount. 6. Credit score. In the olden days, if you wanted to borrow money, you had to look a banker in the eye and hope he liked your hat. Today, we have the credit score. It's basically a trust meter for adults. Every time you pay a bill on time, your meter goes up. Every time you forget or spend more than you have, it goes down. A high score tells the world this person is boring and predictable. Give them the cheap loans. A low score says this person is a wild card. Charge them extra because they might disappear. Your credit score is the gatekeeper to the big stuff: houses, cars, and business loans. It takes years to build and only one bad weekend to break. Treat it like your reputation, because that's exactly what it is. 7. Currency. Think about a $20 bill. It's just a piece of paper with a dead guy's face on it. You can't eat it, you can't wear it, and it won't keep you warm. So why is it valuable? Because we all agree it is. Currency is a shared illusion. As long as you believe that the grocery store will take that paper for eggs and the egg farmer believes he can use it to buy gas, the system works. But currency isn't the same as wealth. Wealth is things that have utility: land, food, skills. Currency is just the scoreboard we use to keep track of who owes who. If the shared illusion ever breaks, like it has in countries where the currency becomes worthless, people go back to trading actual stuff. Understanding the difference between money and value is the first step to real wealth. 8. Investing. If currency is just paper, how do you get wealthy? You invest. Investing is the act of trading your scorecards, money, for things that produce more value. Think of it like a garden. You can eat your seeds today, spending, or you can plant them, investing. If you plant them, you can't eat them now. You have to wait. You have to pull weeds. But eventually, that seed becomes a tree that gives you fruit forever. Whether you're buying a piece of a company, stocks, a piece of land, real estate, or even a new skill for yourself, you are planting seeds. Most people spend their lives chasing fruit. The wealthy spend their lives planting trees. 9. Value. Why does anything cost what it costs? Why is a diamond more expensive than a bottle of water even though you need water to live? This is the concept of value. Value is determined by scarcity and desire. If something is rare and people want it, the price goes up. If it's everywhere and nobody cares, it's cheap. But here's the trick. The most valuable thing you can provide to the world is a solution to a problem. If you can solve a $1 million problem, people will gladly give you $100,000. Finance isn't just about moving numbers, it's about figuring out what people value and finding a way to provide it. 10. Time. Finally, we come to the most important icon on our list: time. You can always make more money. You can find a new job, start a new business, or win the lottery, but you can never, ever make more time. In finance, time is your greatest multiplier. Because of compound interest, $1,000 invested by a 20-year-old is worth way more than $10,000 invested by a 50-year-old. Time turns small into huge. But more importantly, the whole point of mastering the other 9 items on this list is to buy your time back. We don't want a mountain of gold just to sit on it like a dragon. We want it so we don't have to trade our Tuesday mornings for a paycheck. So there it is. The game of money isn't actually that complicated once you look past the big words and the confusing charts. It's about understanding the subscription fees, choosing the right middlemen, making your interest employees work for you, and planting enough trees so you can eventually sit in the shade. The system is designed to be confusing so that you stay a worker instead of a player. But now you know the rules. The question is, what's your first move?